Hello everyone, I'm Rosa. Welcome to the channel. So today we're gonna do something a little bit different. I have seen other booktubers do this in the past and I thought the videos were really fun to watch. So I wanted to do one of my own. So what we're doing is I am going to be reading negative reviews of some of my favorite books and we'll see what happens from there because this could either turn really nasty or I could just become really sad. Like, who knows? I don't know. We'll see. So I haven't really picked out which books I'm going to be reading negative reviews on yet. I think we'll just jump into some, but I know that in general, like ACOTAR and also other Sarah J Maas books are often mentioned in these videos. I will be looking up at least A Court of Thorns and Roses, but I think I'm gonna leave the rest and we're gonna read negative reviews on some other books that are maybe less mentioned. So I'm really looking forward to this, but at the same time, I'm also really nervous. Anywho, let's get started. Which one should we start with though? Let's start with The Night Circus. I'm sure we can find some there. So The Night Circus I read last year. It was beautiful. I read it during December actually, so it's almost a year ago, and I gave it a full-on 5 stars. I thought it was perfect. It was just vibes and cuteness and beauty, and I really adored it. But I also recognize that it's not necessarily a book for everyone because of the way that it's written. And so, negative reviews. Let's go. Yeah, so here we go with the it's not a book for everyone. Wow, this was the most boring book I've read in a very long time. It's a vibes book. If you don't like the vibes, you're not gonna vibe with it, you know? I wouldn't say story-wise that there's nothing happening, but you know when they say plot-driven or character-driven, I think it leans more towards character-driven, most definitely. Okay, I have another one. So I skipped past all the talk about plot and stuff, and we're at the final thoughts. Are you kidding me? Did someone really write that and think it was a good idea? What kind of Harlequin romance fantasy is she trying to fulfill? And is it necessary to impose it on the rest of us? First of all, I don't know what Harlequin is, but second of all, you don't have to read it. Like, if you didn't like it, it's okay to DNF a book. You don't have to continue it. So I'm not sure about the whole like imposing it on people because you decided to pick up the book and continue reading when you found out that it was not for you. Oh, the love story between these two characters is absolutely one of the most contrived and ridiculous things I've ever read. Dare I say it was worse than Twilight. Hold on. Okay, so no diss to Twilight. I didn't enjoy Twilight. I feel like it's also, if you love Twilight, that's like, do you. You know, you do you. But I think my own perception of Twilight is that there's a lot of negative, like a lot of red flags throughout the whole thing. Like, a lot. You cannot compare the love story between Celia and Marco. That's their names, right? Yeah, Celia and Marco to that. No, that's not how, what? What I don't understand is how this book could possibly have a rating of 4.18 on Goodreads with more than 2,000 5-star ratings. Because people like different things. It's that simple. This book took 10 years of my life away. Well, okay. The Night Circus is a new record for me. It put me to sleep not once but twice, but at least it's relaxing, right? At least it's a relaxing read. It was relaxing to you, so you could sleep to it. I'd say that's a positive thing. Do Celia and Marco actually compete? I don't think so. So there is a competition. It's a rivalry between the two magicians. I kind of don't want to get into the details, but yes, they do compete in a very abstract way. It's not like in your face obvious. It's kind of between the, like, it's very abstract. I think that's the best way you can explain it. No, just no lame circus lame book. Oh gosh. I appreciate the picture of, who seems to be Chris Evans though, putting pencils up his nose. Unless it's not Chris Evans. If it's someone else, please tell me because it looks like Chris Evans. Okay, let's do one more. I don't understand all the DNFs that rated it 1 star. How can you give it 1 star when you haven't actually read the book? And actually, I think a lot of, like, now that I've kind of skimmed through a lot of them, it feels like this is an adult book. It's not YA, so it's not fast-paced. It's not supposed to be fast-paced. It's an adult book. And a lot of the reviews that I'm seeing, it kind of feels like they were expecting to go into it. At the time, it was written by a young author, Erin Morgenstern, so they kind of went into it thinking it was going to be one thing. Dueling magicians, action, everything, and it's just turned out to be something else. I'm sorry, what? I truly hated this book. In all fairness, I didn't read Harry Potter, which the media compares it to. Since when is that? Huh? Harry Potter? There are like no similarities whatsoever other than there's magic in both of the books. Did they really compare it to Harry Potter? Okay, I'm gonna do The Love Hypothesis, which I read in February this year and I loved it, but I know that there's quite a lot of strong opinions on this book. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I would say generally it's been very well received and is still very well loved. But usually when a book gets a lot of hype, a lot of positivity, there has to be not necessarily an equivalent, like the negative doesn't, it's just like the negative gets louder, if that makes sense. So let's have a look at The Love Hypothesis. I don't know what kind of drugs y'all are on, but I evidently did not receive my portion. Frankly, nothing. I don't even take painkillers, so no. The pure agony of having to read this. Yes, I was held at gunpoint and forced to finish it. Do not ask questions. I am not allowed to talk about it. I will agree. I will agree on one thing. So in The Love Hypothesis, Ali Hazelwood does mention the sheer size of Adam a lot, like a whole lot. For reference, I decided to tab my book every time that she mentions it, and those are the orange tabs, as you can see right here, so there's quite a lot of mentions on it. And it says there's this thing in romance books where they have to hyper-focus on one of the man's physical attributes, and if it's not the eyes, it's his fucking eyes. We get it, Adam is big. Huge, enormous, a fucking giant. He has muscles, I get it. His fingers are massive and so is, oh, great. I'm okay with the F word, but I'm not gonna say that on camera. There's my line. I don't remember that part of him being mentioned as, well, maybe it did. I just don't remember. Listen, I've read A Court of Silver Flames. Anything else is like, I'm fine, you know? I just don't remember. But yeah, the sheer size of him is mentioned a lot. I just thought it was funny, so it didn't really bother me. I don't think Reylos deserve human rights, sorry. I've only watched the first one of the new Star Wars movies, so I can safely say that I'm not a Reylo. Decided to just completely forget that it was fanfic. Here's an incomplete list of grievances. How did Adam push a truck uphill single-handedly? I'm pretty sure my 60-something-year-old dad has pushed a car kind of uphill, and he's old. It's doable. Like, it's doable. He did it by himself because I had to drive another car behind him, but he did it. Oh gosh, he actually had to do that in the basement here as well in the parking. Oh my gosh, it's possible. I don't know, maybe my dad is just super strong or something. He's never told me that. Maybe he's keeping secrets. I have no idea. A 34-year-old man with a PhD in biology said, how the turntables. Come on. Because 34-year-old men who study biology can't know memes? Is that, like, are memes? Are you gatekeeping memes? Oh, was featured 69 times, like, as a complete sentence. I will say that I am very much guilty of saying oh as a complete sentence very often, so I don't think that's unusual. Also, you could have not put the like in there, by the way, in case you wanna, you know, be specific about certain things like that. How has this book not resulted in a lawsuit yet or a restraining order from Adam Driver? Because it's fictional. It's not about Adam Driver. It's just fictional. Now, if Ali Hazelwood was standing outside his home with a pair of binoculars and was stalking him, I'd understand it, but it's fanfic and it's not actually about Adam, it's about, what's his name? Lo. What's the Lo? Kylo? Kylo. It's about Kylo, another fictional character, so that would be why, but I don't know. I'm afraid my brain is atrophying from having the physical characteristics of Adam Driver repeated to me for 350 pages. Honestly, it's a tall man with dark hair and a bigger nose. It could be anyone. Like, my granddad was a tall guy. He was like 6'6", completely black hair, and he had a pretty big nose as well. It could be about anyone. Not my granddad, though. Keep my Dangrad. My granddad is not in The Love Hypothesis, but you get my point, right? Okay. The Love Hypothesis, question mark, more like the Hate Hypothesis. Hate this book with everything I have. Book Talk will pay for its crimes against false promotion. I love the book and I'm not on Book Talk. Some very strong emotions coming through in this one. Bad. bad. Oh. It's bad. I can't. What I liked when he put her entire boob in his mouth. Did that happen? I've forgotten. Nah. I can't remember. When he put her whole titty just fully in his gaping maw. Did he do that? Wait, there's like one sex scene in this, so I'm pretty sure that I can find it very quickly. Oh my god, he did! So funny. I'm sorry, that's hilarious. I never thought of it. Maybe I just thought in the moment, okay, so she's not a big-chested girl. I don't know. That's really funny. Thank you for making me aware of that. That part brought me the single bit of joy I found in this entire book. I laughed so hard I cried. That is kind of funny, but it's also rom-com, so like, comedy. Oh, and this one is actually nice. All of that said, so I'm guessing a lot of negative stuff. I'm happy that Aurelio author is doing so well because people genuinely do seem to adore this one. I'm sad that it very much wasn't for me, but I wish Ali Hazelwood every success. See, you can be nice about it, you know? It's possible. Setting a good example. Thank you, Sarah. Okay, what is the next one we can do? What books have I loved? Let's do Thunderhead by Neal Shusterman, whose first name I can't spell. Oh, it's Neal. So this was a 5-star from me. I loved this book. I loved the ending, but it's not so much just the ending, it's like everything leading up to the ending. But it's a bit of a slower, a bit of a complicated kind of YA sci-fi, so I'm sure that there's going to be people that don't like it. The first book in the series was Cough Cough, Boring and Terrible, Cough Cough. Do you need some water? A cup of tea? Are you okay? I honestly don't understand the hype for this. The only time I was remotely excited was when the book was about to end. I really should have spared myself all this pain and suffering by DNFing. Why didn't you? You don't have to finish books. In fact, if you don't like the first one and you think it's boring and terrible, don't pick up the sequel. Like, just don't. Have I let any series go because I didn't like them? I can't remember off the top of my head. But like, you don't have to. Excuse me while I go eat this little garbage in a toilet. Put it on a page you can sell your books on. Let someone else enjoy it. I really don't understand the hype over the series at all. If I could give it a 0, I would, but okay, 1 star for the ink and paper, I guess. Giving it 1 star for effort, okay. What's wrong with Scythe Beyonce? I thought it was funny. Beyonce's an icon. Of course there'd be a Scythe named after her. Like, that just makes sense. It's just logical. The writing is still pretty bad. Rowan is still useless. The plot was all over the place and the Thunderhead's POV was really boring and repetitive. The only good thing, once again, was the concept, which truly is brilliant. But that just isn't enough to make a good book, let alone a good series. Overall, a super boring read with a cliffhanger that was really messy in my opinion and made me really uninterested in reading the 3rd book. See, I thought the cliffhanger was amazing, but you know, I guess we're just 2 totally different people. Rowan being useless though? I don't agree. He has a pretty good plot. He's actually doing something good. Okay. Enough of Thunderhead. Let's see people rage over my babies. Basically, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Let's just do it, because I know that Sarah J Maas, as much as she gets a lot of love, she also gets a lot of hate. I will say EchoTAR, the first book, is not my favorite in the series. The sequel is, but we're gonna read on the first one. Me too, Sarah J Maas. Do you lie awake at night to come up with all your witty replies for the following day? Oh dear, this is awful. What? Are you asking? What witty replies? Replies to who? Who's she replying to? Hold on. Take a breather. I'm a second away from dousing myself in gasoline and lighting myself on fire just so I never have to look at this book again. Just sell it so you don't have to look at it. You don't have to put yourself on fire. Or set yourself on fire. Don't do that. I feel like that's a bit extreme. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the EchoTAR drinking game. What you need: a copy of EchoTAR, an alcoholic beverage of your choice, 1 or more friends to play with. Seriously, don't do this alone. I'm up for this. Let's do it. Drink every time you read the words. A shiver went down my spine. My knees buckled. In a heartbeat later. I would never be able to paint it. Male, female, they're talking about Faye. Smirk, snarl, prowl, purr. I'll say that's funny, but okay, so there is a lot of that in the books, but personally, that's like you often come across that in Fae books. It's just like a thing. It's to make sure that we remember that they're not humans, basically, I think. So they purr and prowl and snarl. The smirking, that's just like you know, take a shot every time Tamlin or Reason's overwhelming sexiness is mentioned. Maybe it just doesn't bother me that much because I don't remember that. Like, the word claim is used in connection to sex. That's like a Faye thing too. Feyre uses ableist slurs and blames her dad for being disabled. I cannot remember that. Frankly, I cannot remember that. Bonus, finish your drink when Feyre is harassed by Tamlin or Reason. I don't... So there is a whole discussion, we're not going to get into it, with in regards to Reason and the ending of the book. As for Tamlin, I can't get into it because it will be spoiling stuff. But, oh geez, this is actually difficult. I can't get into it because it would be spoiling it. Feyre complains about how difficult that ridiculous riddle is. She also can't read, so it is ridiculously difficult. If I had to do a riddle on something that I can't do, like if there was some kind of competition where I needed to kick a ball into, like, straight into this, like, round space, whatever, I'd fail. I'd be seething over how difficult that task is because I can't do it. So I think it's okay for her to say that it's difficult. But I don't know. The romance was a cheese feast. Cheese feast? If Feyre says one more time that she wants to taste Tamlin, I'm going to scream. Someone clearly does not have that fetish. That's fine. I'm not admitting to having a fetish, by the way. Don't twist my words. Do not. But I understand the language, is all I'm saying. I understand the language. A quart of dumb heroin. Heroin? I've never really learned how to pronounce that word, I'm not gonna lie. And her horny love interests. Oh my gosh, that's actually a good name. I like that. You should write a book with that title. If I could erase one book from world, If I could erase from the world, this would be it. Sorry, or maybe not. I feel like that's pretty selfish. Like, I'm just gonna put this out there. I feel like that's pretty selfish because what about all the people that actually love it? You get a single plus point just for using a supernatural gif, but don't be selfish. Don't be, like, let people enjoy things. Here's another one. A quart of everything I never want to see again in YA fantasy and roses. It's not YA, it's very much not YA. If you go into this thinking it's YA, let me tell you, it's not. It's not YA. Don't think it's YA. Bookstores might put it under YA, but they're wrong, okay? It's funny because I've gone through some of them and I can't actually show you because it would be spoilery, but there's certain language used that is not really acceptable, I would say. As a woman reading it, it's not acceptable. But that said, we're entering spoilery territory, so I'm just gonna leave it there. If you don't continue the series, you're not gonna be able to see the conclusion to it. But again, if you don't enjoy the first one, don't continue the series. Why did someone... Hold up. 5 stars. In March 2016. 5 stars in March 2016. May 2017. And now she hates it. Or they, I didn't see the name. And then they reread it in April 2018. And they still hated it and rated it 1 star. I'm confused. Why are you wasting your time? DNF at 20%. Googled the plot story. Turned out nothing special. Glad never actually finished this. See, someone DNF, but don't rate it 1 star. While you're DNFing, just don't do that. I don't know. Don't do that. Can I do that from now on? If I have any books and I kind of want to read them, but I kind of also don't want to read them, can I just Google the plot and then read the books? Does that equal to me reading the books? Is that a thing people do? A review of Scorn and Loathing. I'll give them something. They're pretty good with coming up with alternative titles. Like, there's a lot of those in these reviews. I'm having a good time. A novel by me in which I rant over the ridiculous plot, horrible main character, and the butchering of one of the greatest fairy tales known to mankind. I think the most problematic thing in this review is that you're saying that Beauty and the Beast is one of the greatest fairy tales known to mankind. It's literally Stockholm Syndrome. If you love Beauty and the Beast, go ahead and love it, but you could argue that there's a pretty severe case of Stockholm Syndrome in it, and you're still wondering why I love ACOTAR. Well, read the series. I'm not gonna tell you, because it would be spoilery. But I think you just discredit it yourself, is all I'm saying. Feyre has the personality of a decaying piece of wood. Not only is she just boring, she's sullen, ill-mannered, and hostile. She's been taken prisoner by a fae and has been taken away from her family to the Fae realm. Would you be in a good mood if you were taken away from your family as the only one who can actually give them food as well? Like, you're the one out there hunting for food for your 2 sisters and your disabled disabled father, and now this fae comes and takes you away. Would you be nice to him? Wouldn't you be a little bit sad and also angry with him? What? I will say though, fair enough, Feyre is actually not my favorite main character of Sarah J Maas. Who is my favorite? Aelin? I think it might be Aelin. Aelin, Bryce, Nesta, Feyre. I think. They're trying to argue for why it's not a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Story 1, our first main character learns to see past someone's ugly appearance and harsh mannerisms and begins to love them for the person they are deep down. Story 2, our second main character begins to change his ways and undergoes a transformation from beast to man as a reaction from being loved and as a result from loving others. Well, it's a retelling, so it has changes to it. It doesn't have to be a chapter by chapter. It's a retelling. This is what Beauty and the Beast is to me. Okay, well, I suppose the review is also very subjective, so that's fair. And that is everything A Court of Thorns and Roses was not. We did not get a kind and loving beauty. We kind of do. We kind of do. We did not get a harsh and ugly beast. In my opinion, we did. What we did get was an angry heroine. Heroine? That's what I'm gonna go with little to no inner beauty that I could see, and a beast who was, in reality, a smoking hot fairy fae, with a gentle personality who was only a beast in bed. Are those the words you want to use about Tamlin? I'm gonna have to stop this because I can tell you, this is not a spoiler, but Tamlin as a character, I hate him. So, I hate him so much. So the whole gentle personality thing, I'm like, nah, no, nah. I think that's it. If you want to see more videos like this from me, let me know, because I have a lot of favorite books that I can definitely have trashed in front of me and take it. I do get a little bit salty at times, but I suppose it's just because I'm very protective of them. I hope I wasn't too rude. I hope you have fun with me. I thought some of the reviews were pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. So it was entertaining to me, at least. I hope it was to you too. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to hit the thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this from me, first let me know if you want to see more videos like this. But also, I do videos like wrap-ups and TBR videos and readathons and all the booktube stuff. So if that's of any interest, feel free to hit the subscribe button. But that is all I got for you guys today. So I'm gonna go hug my favorite books because I feel like they need the love. And then I'm gonna go possibly heal myself before moving on to the next thing that I'm gonna do today. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye! Oh, you know you're beautiful.